tonight. Alexa, please stop music. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's Patty coming back at you from Cook, Cut, and Create. It is Sunday, August the 9th, 2026. I'm in the studio today creating. I'm actually going to be doing a wreath that will fit between your door and your storm door. I have two signs that I've created. One is currently available on the website, and the other one will be available tomorrow as part of our luxury collection that we'll be launching. But I wanted to show you that the sign that we are working today, inspired by the Nutcracker, the Sugarplum Fairy Ballerina. This one is a very, very soft sign. Her tutu is a pinkish purple. Now the luxury version of this we will be doing on the next video, and that is this one. Giving her a glam up, a glow up, as they like to say. We'll be doing that on another video. But today we're going to be focusing on this one. Normally when you talk about a door wreath, you're thinking about door wreaths that have the deco mesh that are big. That it's hard to close the doors, and you can't squish them between your front door and your storm door. So we're going to be doing these a little bit differently. I'm actually going to be using foam wreath circles for these today. Now the one today, this right here is a 15.6 inch circle. The signs are 11 3/4, and as you would see, these would literally just fall through the sign. Tomorrow's video with the other sign, we'll be using the larger wreath frame to show you a different way you can do it. But the one today, I'm using a number 12 wreath form, and it's 11.7 inches. And so this one will actually sit attached to it this way. And what we're going to be doing is decorating around the sides of it. So I'm going to get you brought up, get set up, and I will see you in a moment. Alexa, resume music. Okay guys, I've got you back above the table. Okay, so this is the form we're using. It's a number 12 Styrofoam wreath form. It is, yeah, the size. But anyway, you know what it was. But it's the number 12. It's the smaller one. And this is the sign that I'm going to be putting onto it. And it's more of a pinks and purples. Her tutu is a purple, but it's a pink-based purple. But I'm going to make this one a very soft-looking wreath. What I'm going to start with now, I have all sorts of flowers and extra doodads to add to it as we go and see what serves my purpose. But the first thing I'm going to do with this, you have to have a way to hang this. And I am actually going to use a purple ribbon. And that is the first thing I'm going to do. Use your scissors. Why I make this so difficult for myself. Normally I would already have this open, but I forgot. But I'm just using a purple ribbon. You can use any ribbon that you want. It does not matter. You can use string. You could use deco mesh if you wanted to. You could use a wire coat hanger if that's what works for you, and that's all you have. But I'm just going to unroll enough here. That's going to give me. And what I'm going to do, and this one is a wired ribbon, so there are wires sticking out of it, but I'm quite literally just simply going to put them together like this and just tie them together like this and pull it tight. And then I'm actually going to put another one on the end here if I can get it. If I can't, I can't. My fingers may not want to cooperate with me today. Okay, there we go. So I have two knots. And what I will do is have it where that is up underneath this. You will not be able to see this part. And I'm actually going to tack a little bit of hot glue on here and here so it does not shift around. Because these foam rings have a point where they come together, and that's what I'm using for the top center of the wreath. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's entirely your personal preference. My hot glue is still warming up a little bit, but I've got some on there. I'll hold it tight for a little minute. Flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And I wasn't too worried about trying to get the sticker all the way off. Sometimes they're tough to get off of these foam, and you can mess up your foam really, really bad if you're not careful. Just enough to get it held into place there. And I'm going to do a little at the top to help keep a permanent loop there. hot glue is still not quite there, so I'm sort of fighting it at the moment. I hope your day is going, I hope your weekend has been good. Mine has been a semi-productive weekend. I'm actually going to go back in and I'm going to cut off the bottom of this. So I've got just the one knot on there. Because it's holding pretty well. So we're good on that. Alright, my next step is going to be not to put the wreath sign on. I am actually, this is Christmas garland from Hobby Lobby. This right here, and I'm actually going to put it around the back of the form here. I'm going to kind of set it where it's about at a midpoint here at the top, right up here, so that when you're looking at it from the front, it's covering. From the back, it is not, because we will finish this off on the back when we are done later. But right now, I'm going to figure out how much that I need. Okay, we're going to put it right about there. Let's cut that. And of course, as you can see, my workspace is covered as it always is. I function in chaos, obviously, and mess. And then with this, I'm going to start with the one up at the top. Put a big glob of hot glue here and work our way around to secure it in a few different places. The hot glue is finally starting to free flow now. Remember, hot glue is hot. Do not burn yourself. Of course, as they say, if you don't have a hot glue burner too, are you really crafting with hot glue? Alright, come down, and we just kind of want it to follow the circle. So we're just going to put it down in a few spots. And the reason why I'm using the wreath, the floral foam, is the thicker one. You could still push picks and such into it. They have another one that's more of an open style foam, but it really crumbles. And that, if your front door gets a lot of heat, it potentially could melt that one because it's an open core foam. This one is more solid, even though you're still able to push things into it. And as you can see, I'm just adding lines of glue just to help secure this in spots so it doesn't move around on you, does not come loose. And of course, you know, after you have a wreath for a few years, things may come loose from being packed away and unpacked and stuff. So sometimes you'll have to do a little bit of maintenance. So always have that hot glue gun ready. And I hope I don't run out of battery. I have my battery charger for the glue gun, but my second battery, it's been misplaced since the last time I used it. So if nothing else, that's impetus telling me, hey, get out here and clean your space up, woman. Finish getting it organized and purged. Make it a calm space. But even my BFF Crafty Max will tell you, I thrive in the chaos. That's just who I am. My husband would even tell you that it's not changed in almost 37 years. So, alright. And this last bit, I'm just going to do a big line up through here for this last bit. And it still runs us back up to the top here. Another glue stick. Okay, so that's what we have so far, is this fella. Now, what I want to do now is go ahead and when I attach the sign, I'm going to be attaching it into here so that it's sitting against the foam in a few spots. Or I may just attach it directly to the garland. My initial plan was to attach it directly to the foam and work from there. But I got to thinking I needed more space for all these picks and such that I'm going to be putting in there. But I might put a second layer of this on the back. So let's take a look. I may go back to my original thought. I think I might go back to the original thought and go ahead and attach this. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and attach it directly to the foam, and I'll put another layer of this in there. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Sometimes you have it in your head you're going to do it one way, and you're going to wind up switching it up when you actually start it. Now, if I was doing the larger foam base, I would absolutely set it inside of it. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow is building layers for the sign to sit on tomorrow. Well, in the next video that I get out to you. And my plan is to hopefully do it sometime tomorrow evening. Okay, the glue is on there. Get her lined up, get her up into position. Okay, and then kind of push down her. And it's metal. It's a 0.025 gauge aluminum. Because typically if you're going to put these on a deco mesh wreath, you would punch holes with a Euro punch and attach them with cable ties or pipe cleaners, Chanel stems, things like that. Okay, gosh, you gotta love hot glue, don't you? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another layer of this garland. And what it's going to do, because now instead of trying to do it from the other side where it would sit on top of the garland, this is going to sit inside the garland. Kind of pre-measure out here. And if you do have little tufts, like if you have to trim some off, save it, because you might be able to push it into something else that you create. Now with this one, I'm going to tuck it so that it's in this little spot here behind the sign. Right through here is where I'm going to work this one into. And that's also going to help to secure the sign a little bit more, because it's going to be another row of glue that the sign will have attached to it. And I recommend working this one in small sections, because you do need to push on it a little bit to kind of push it down into that spot. Now see there, I'm going to be putting the glue down into here, and that's where I'm pushing the garland into. And it doesn't have to be white garland. It's colors that you choose for this. And I'm trying to go for a softer muted color. And this particular garland has a iridescence to it, so it reflects the colors around it. Now, if it is not Christmas and you don't have any of this garland, and you do have a Hobby Lobby or a party store of some sort around you, go in the party section, and a lot of times for the party decorations they will have garlands. And I have used an iridescent garland that they have, but it has it's iridescent, but it has a more of a yellow hue, a yellow hue to it. So it's not as bright as this one, but it does reflect colors perfectly. I mean, it really does make it pretty. I'm just tucking it in here. And see, in this spot here, we've got a big cavern of space. I am going through the glue sticks. Just working it down in here. Trying to do bigger layers at a time. And I'm just taking my finger and just kind of pushing it down to that spot. If you're not comfortable using your finger, you can absolutely use part of a floral pick to push down there, a wooden dowel, a pair of scissors, just don't cut it, or yourself. But you don't want to put in so much glue that it cools off and doesn't adhere before you can get to it. That's the one caution. That's why I say work in small sections. Because in the middle of this garland is a wire, and that's what I'm trying to push, is that middle section down into the spot, because it adheres a lot better. When I decorated for the daughter's wedding, all the outdoor signage that we had for parking and the event and such like that, I used this kind of garland on it. And after the wedding, when I brought the signs back home, after about a month or so, I deconstructed them and salvaged all the flowers and the garlands and stuff so I can use them in other projects. And it holds up very, very well. And that was in December of last year, and we had a little bit of rain that one night, and it didn't hurt anything a bit because they stayed outside. I wouldn't recommend that for full time, but it actually worked out very well. See, it's taken a little bit longer to go around this time because I'm not attaching it with nothing else there. I'm actually working it down into a spot here. I've got a little bit left here, almost there. So I'm trying to make sure to get into the space here with this. And remember, always be mindful of how much glue you put down so you're not burning your fingers from run out. The more the extra glue comes back out. And of course you do have the glue strings, the hot glue strings that you'll always have. And you can pull them off later, or you can come back and just apply a little bit of heat from an embossing gun or a small heat gun that's not very powerful. Be careful with how much heat you apply to it, and it will just melt them away to nothingness. And let me get one more last little spot in there. I will trim that a little bit more and get it tucked in there. Okay. Get it tucked there well. Need to put another glue stick in. Making sure I'm not having to go chase glue sticks this time. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so there we go. So this is now, it does cover up the words. What I'm adding later, I will be able to have this come down a little bit. And if it doesn't, you know, I may let it stay. Keep the words covered. I'm not sure. Have not decided. We'll deal with that when we get there. So this is what we're looking at so far. There's your front. And then there's your back. You know, you can go in before you put this garland. You can cover this up with a placemat, felt. It's whatever works for you. But in my situation, this is going to be against my door. And I do not have a glass door. It's solid. So you cannot see the back. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. You know, I may go back in there and put something into it later. A little hidden secret. You never know. It's you do you. Whatever floats your boat. But that is what we have so far. Now I'm going to add floral picks, flowers and stuff around the edges. And I'm going for a softer look, but I want to play off of the purple and the pinks because it is a purple. You should be able to see now how it's more purple than pink. It's more of a purple than a pink, but it has the hues of pink. The iridescent on the garland is throwing pink. And I am actually going to embrace that a little bit. I have some pink flowers. I have some light purple flowers, but I also have this. And as you can see, when you let that up there, okay, I need to turn off the top light. It's giving you too much of a glare. I do apologize for that. I didn't catch that. There we go. Okay, that'll work. Now you can really see it and you don't have the glare on there anymore. I do apologize. 15 minutes and I didn't realize it had a glare. I did not look up at my camera. I apologize. Anyways, move on, Patty. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to add, I think I want to add the funner stuff here. But you see there how it's, now when it has a dark purple, it plays it more purple. And then if I take that away, it lightens it back up. And it presents pink. So we're going to play with both. And I do have light colored flowers, but I also have some weird looking feather type things. I do have blingy stuff, and I also have what I like to call the wisps, and I'm actually going to color these. But let's start with putting, I want to put these in first, and we will build from there. So let me go ahead and break a bunch of these off. Now I need to leave longer sections. Having not worked with one of this before, let me see how long. Okay, the individuals are not long enough for me to just put in the side. You would never see them. Now, I would be able to do it here at the front, possibly. You got to kind of find the foam that you're working off of. Because remember, the sign is over the foam. Now, what that does there, if I were to do that, but because the garland is so large, you would only see peekaboos of it, but I may do that. I'm going to leave that there and see what I think. I want to take one of these and separate it out to a big section like this. And I always, when I go, if I have to buy this stuff, I always limit how much I buy because this stuff can get expensive very quickly, even when it's on sale. But I'm going to take and I'm going to work some in up here. And all I'm doing is just pushing it into the foam. That's all I'm doing. And then I can always manipulate the garland around it like that. I have two sets of these. So I'm going to work with a couple of taller pieces first. And I'm just going to randomly stick them in the foam. I'm not going to be symmetrical about it. And what I will do is I'm just going to go in and wrap them, put it in, and then I will work on manipulating it around the way I think I need to do. And we will do that as we go. And it is, my AC is on, but it is still hot in here today. We had about a week of nice cooler weather. Well, I say cooler, it was in the 80s, but it was still comfortable. And we're back into the high 90s again with heat indexes over 100. My husband is a mechanic that works outside all the time, and it's tough on him. Needless to say, he goes through the bottles of water. And just poking it in there. No rhyme or reason, I'm just random with this. Let's see, get one that's a little bit smaller. I need to put one towards the bottom. And all the littles I'll put in probably towards the inside like I did this one after I'm done with the rest of it. I'll pull that one off. Let's see. And with this, I was trying to find, I know a lot of you older viewers remembered candied fruits. And sometimes you could buy the candied fruits at like a Woolworths or TG&Y or Ben Franklin Art and Craft. And I really wanted to play off the part that she was a Sugarplum Fairy and went looking for candied fruits. And nobody has them anymore. I could probably buy them online. But I'm like, well, that just tells me if I want to do a vintage style sign, I'll have to think ahead and pre-order something like that. Because I'm sure that I can find some. It's just a matter of looking. Okay, and see the nice thing about these two is they can be bent. So rather than sticking off to the side, you can bend them and manipulate them. And that's what I'm going to do with a lot of these. Because I have a lot that I can add into here. Okay. And I'm just going to start with this one. Because you have to remember, this will be looking at you, you know, straight like this. And of course, as always, when I'm finished, I'll bring you down and show it to you straightforward. Let's go ahead. I'm going to knock the glue gun down a little bit because I really don't need it at the moment. I'm going to turn it off. So if I need the glue gun again later, we'll have to wait for it to warm up. I want to go in with some of these. I know ahead of time, just go ahead and cut them off. Hi, babies. That's the kitties you hear in the background. And again, we're just going to work the bottom of the pick down into the foam. I want to take this one right here at the top. We're going to angle this one a little bit if I can get it in there. The nice things about this particular foam is you really don't have to hot glue this stuff into it. Just get it pushed down into the foam enough and it will secure it pretty well. I want this one to lay off to the side because this particular pick here, I bought 4 of them. Now the other sign that I'm going to be doing with this will be a slightly different version of this. It will be more blingy, even though this has already got some bling to it because of the iridescence in this. But we're going to bring it a little bit more, and it's going to have a lot of deep blues in it. Okay. Jeez, there we go. Now the thicker stems it's a little bit harder to get in there. This one I think I'm going to secure with a little bit of hot glue just simply because of the way it's acting. Okay. It's going to fall back anyway. But that's okay. That's what working with it towards the end process is all about. Let's go ahead and pull some more of this off. Yeah, if you look when you go in and the florals are on sale wherever you buy your supplies at, Florals are something I never thought I would use them in as much as I do, but I do use them a lot. You can always deconstruct them to suit your purposes. I'm going to put this one to the inside here. You got to work this one at an angle because of where the sign sits at now. Well, I was going to. The stem on this one is bending too much for me to be able to do that. So, let's do it from the outside. The intention of working it in that way. Okay. Push it a little bit more. Now I'm actually going to bend this one up like that. You can kind of see what I did. I'm bending it up and in like that. And I'm going to do the same with one over here. Need to strip a few of the smaller pieces away though to give it enough stem to get into the foam. And what I'm doing with that is I'm just working it into the foam close to the sign here. Just like that, and then just bend it up. When you go to pick out florals and you know that you're probably going to be manipulating them in this way, you do want to make sure that you can bend them and shape them, and then look good at the stems, and make sure that if you cut them apart, the whole thing does not fall apart on you. Now I have already figured out the words being covered up on this is not going to bother me at all because I'm going to leave it that way. But that's what we've got so far. I need to get a couple more over here to the side that just kind of stick out a little bit. I don't want them as long as the others though. Let me make it shorter. And I will tell you, balance and symmetry is not something that comes out in all of my crafts. Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I just throw, it's like, you know, seeing if your spaghetti is cooked all the way, throw it at the wall. If it sticks, it works. That's kind of my, yes, I lost my train of thought. That's kind of the way I function sometimes. Because you can always undo stuff, for the most part. Although hot glue can be very unforgiving. I'm going to save those to the end. Let me pull one of these out again. Go ahead and cut some more off. Okay, pull the smaller stuff off because I will add it in probably later. Go ahead and pull these smaller ones off. Actually, this one I want to be a shorty. Okay, set you two there. I'm going to pull it up a little bit and kind of look at what I'm working with here. I need one over here. It's maybe in amongst the purple here. I'm going to tuck it so it's up against the purple. Got to get to the foam. Not always easy to get to the foam because the garland is getting in the way, but that's okay. See, I put it in with that. See, this one's a long one. This one's a long one. And I kind of like having the three long ones at the top. I am going to bend them forward a little bit. Don't want to bend them forward too much because I know that it's going to be going in between the front door and the storm door. This one, there's just something about this particular one that I'm not happy with it. We're going to pull this off. I'm just going to strip the bottom of the stem on this one, get more of it into the foam. Because it's just not sitting into the foam well. And I'm not sure why. Hey, Drizzle. Okay, yeah. Pulling more of it off the stem helped. Okay, there we go. So we have the 3. We've got a 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and put one. Well, there is one there. I just can't see it. I need to pull you forward. Okay. So that's what we have so far. I want to go in with some of these purples and go ahead and drop some on the inside. But I am thinking that section of garland actually came off of where it was glued, but that's okay. I will live with it. I will live with it. I'm going to pull some of these off so they have a lot of the metal with them, and I'm going to twist them together and see what we can do here. We're just going to twist them together just like this. And then I'm going to take that, go back down here where the single one is, and work it into the foam. Trying to find the back side of it back here where it's going to come through at, and then work it down into the foam. And just manipulate it a bit. And I'm actually going to secure the back side of this a little bit, just to help hold it in place. It's not like, you know, that it's going to be hit on and pulled on and stuff, but I just want a little bit of security. So I'm going to let it attach through the garland onto the here. And the glitter on these guys is coming off. I'm kind of liking that so far. This one is just going to be a work in progress. I like the idea of pulling a bunch of them off, twisting them together and tucking them in here. So I'm going to go through and do that real quick. Let's see, this is a 2. We're just going to do the 2 on this one. Let's tuck it over this way. Bring it through. And because these have strong, very strong wires in them. Now I could just, you know, I tell you what, let's experiment for a second. Because I had to tuck that one down anyway with a little dab of glue. So let's just go ahead and twist it together, but we're going to cut the tail off of it. And then I'm just going to add it with a little bit of glue. We're going to add a little glue to the back of it. See if this will work. Put enough glue into it that it will hold itself into place. And we're just going to tuck it in that way. Because remember, even though we're seeing this flat, when it's up on the door, everything will fall a little bit. Gravity will naturally pull it down. And I actually like that. I almost wish I had... My brain is thinking on something. It's going off on its little tangent by itself. And derailing me at the moment. Okay, I'm going to take these 4 and twist them together. I like the idea of twisting these. I'm going to cut off below the twist what I do not need. And I just dropped it. And I am actually, it just gave me an idea. I may twist it up underneath that. I'm twisting it into a piece of this. Like this. I like that. And then what I need to do is be able to position it somewhere to the interior. So, because they're going to kind of play peekaboo, and I like that. So we're just going to put a dab of glue right here. A little dab of do-ya. And pop it down in there. And hope it's in the right spot. Oh yeah, oh yeah, see now, see, you never know. It fell onto that, and I kind of like it if I can get it to stay. More glue, more glue, more glue, more glue. Okay, hold you down in there. Hold it for a second. All right, I think I want to do the same thing up here because I kind of like that. I like that. So basically what's going to wind up happening when this is done, you're going to see her. It's going to look like she's trying to jump through a glitter and snowfall. Okay. So let's strip these. Pull some more of these little purple guys out. We're just going to go 2 with this one. We're going to twist these together. Keep moving off screen. I apologize for that. And we're going to twist it up into here. Just like this. Well, I think the white one is a plastic stem. It's not metal. so it does not twist as easily, but that's okay. That's what they make hot glue for. So we're going to run the wire. Okay. Let me start over on this one. We're going to twist these two together to create a wire tail. Now we're going to take that wire tail, we're going to wrap it around the stem of this, since this stem is plastic and does not want to wrap. Okay, we're going to do it just like that. Then we're going to tuck it in like this, fold it in on itself, and then we're going to put hot glue down and put it in place and see what happens. I'm just going to put some hot glue up here. Come on, get in there, please. There we go. And we're just going to tuck you in and see what happens. The purple came undone, but we will fix that. There we go. Now to hold it into place. Now to hold it into place. And then one thing too, if you don't have a set plan and you just wing it like I do, always be prepared. You may have to go a different direction because something may not be working. Or you may have to go back into it later and add something else to it. Who knows? So we have the little one, we have this. I have the big purple sticking up there. I want to bring this purple up through the garland some. Bring you up through here. So that you poke up through the garland. Or you don't. I may actually trim some of this garland. That's probably what I'll do, is trim some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. Okay, I'm going to stop with these guys, and I'm going to move on to some flowers. Now, I do have, they only had one spray of these. I really like these. These are a purple, and it's just pretty much just leaves, but I want to add it to this. And I want to go ahead and do it now, and I've only got the one spray. Let's see if I can get this off of here. And get these cut apart. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of them in here. And I know I'm going to want them on the sides, but I want them tucked in close so they're not sticking far out. So I know I'm going to have to trim down the stems themselves and the leaves. Okay. See, this one, it's close together with wire, but that's okay. I'm just going to trim them there and be done with it. Now, I do know that I need to pull off, because I'm wanting it closed in, and I will save the leaves, because single leaves can be attached to stuff with hot glue, and it may even go onto here. You never know. It just depends upon what the brain is thinking. So that's the goal right there, is to get it down to this, because it's purple. And my whole goal with this whole thing is to be soft and subtle, even though it's shiny. Yes, there is a small wire through the middle of this. But I'm going to hold it up for just a second and figure out where I want to put this at. And I want these to be more forward than in the middle of the foam. Well, okay. And of course, if you have a hard time pushing it into your foam, by all means, use something. You know, you could use one of the wires off of floral picks to create your hole if you need to. Just try not to get too big of a one in there. And I will actually, so that I get a little bit of the purple towards the front, I'm going to put a little glue under the leaf and just pull it forward so that it attaches itself to the garland. And that will pull the whole thing forward so you can see the purple. Okay. And I will probably go back in and I'm going to add stuff to it. But I'm going to throw one, I'm going to put one over here. Go ahead and just pull these off. And cut them. And as always, have a good set of wire cutters on hand, because you can use wire cutters to cut all sorts of things. We're going to tuck this one a little bit further down. We're actually going to put it down by the purples down here. I'll put this one in, excuse me, more of an angle if I can get it in there. so it's there. But just like the last one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put hot glue underneath both of these leaves to bring them forward a little bit. And while it does that, it's actually going to pull the entire thing forward. Okay. I put too much glue on that, so there's a lot of heat coming off of that one. Just a little bit on the front of that one. Just enough to bring you forward. So there we go on that. Okay. Because as long as she is not very covered, and that's where I'll probably trim the inside of this a little bit, not much, but a little bit. And seeing the leaves kind of stick out a little bit there is very interesting. Now, do I want to put any more of those on there? Yeah, I kind of do. I want some down here, I think. Okay. And of course, as you could tell, and it's not necessary, because I really don't have an aesthetic that is just standard to my life. It's just what I'm liking at the moment is how I function. And there have been times that I can look back on stuff that I created 15, 20 years ago, and I'm like, what was I thinking? But that was who my personality was at the time. My personality is always changing, always growing. Sometimes for the good, sometimes not. But it probably aggravates the husband more often than not, because I change so often. He's like, but you liked chocolate. Now you're saying don't give you chocolate. What the heck? Yes, I know, sacrilege. No chocolate. You can't do no chocolate. Yeah, you can sometimes. Okay. Now the ones on the bottom I'm going to definitely glue against some garland, because they're going to be being pulled down more. So I want them to actually stay more up. The last leaf I will not do that with. Okay. And I'll probably go in with either a flower or something and put into the middle of these leaves. Do I want... Goodness, excuse me. Goodness gracious. And this is my last... My goodness, apologies. My last purple leaf here. And I'm going to bring it more forward on this one, I think. See if I can get into the foam from there. I mean, I could have done all this part and then come back in with the garland later. Or just come up with something different other than garland. But I like the idea of it. And I will be putting garland on the next one also. The one that's more blue, the luxurious one. Huh. Okay, it's fighting me, so that tells me to move away from that one. Go to a different spot. Okay, let's go through here. Get through the garland. Find the foam. Or just stick it there and glue it in place. Don't fight it. Don't fight what naturally wants to happen. Just glue it into place. And we'll hold these back a little bit with some glue to bring them away from the sign sun. And these particular leaves, they're a fabric that is just, it's almost like a denim. And I guess that's what lends itself to the texture. Okay, holding it up. I'm liking it so far. It's different. It's not everybody's jam, and I understand that. Okay. I want to get some flowers in here. And I was going to put some pink in there, but I don't think I want to. I want to stick with the lighter pink, this daisy style one. And see, and I also did buy some pearls. And I haven't decided if I'm going to put those in there or not. We will see. I even have the lighter pink roses. I'm not going to do that. And my instinct told me yesterday that I didn't want roses on it. And I don't want the daisies either. I don't want those either. Okay. We're walking away from those. See, I want to stay in the purples and not really the pinks. Okay, we're going to that. All right, let's see. We're going to pull in these guys. We're going to pop the stems off of those. Let's do 3 and see what we can do. And sometimes, like Michael's right now, is got all their spring florals on clearance. And sometimes it's easy to find what you need. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just grab what you think you might use. Those are like rubber bands. They stretch. Wow, you don't want to stretch this too much. That's kind of cool though. But I don't need those parts. I just want the stems. Now I will say, because, well, no, it does look like grass once it's cut off. So I might keep it for other stuff, because it does look like grass. You never know. Okay, I know that I need just the floral, the wire exposed. Okay, let's start with these guys. How do I want to do these? Okay, I'm going to start at the top and see if I can't create like maybe a cluster up here of some sort. We're going to... Yeah, it has wire, but it's a very thin wire. I think I'm actually, there we go, it goes. Okay, I'm going to take these 3 and put them up here in a cluster. Now what it is I've got the ribbon up here too, so it's fighting me on the ribbon. I may just give and go in with hot glue. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to, you know, good old standby, hot glue, make it work. Never be afraid to pivot from what your original plan is or what you originally want to use. Always look for the options. Okay. And I actually like those. I'm going to take another 3 to put on the other side of the ribbon, because I do like that. Okay. I'm going to do it just like this. This wire is not enough that I can twist them like the other wire was. So I'm just going to run hot glue on the bottom of these and find a spot to just make it go in there. Kind of tucking it in behind the garland against the sign. That's what I'm doing. And then just going to squeeze it all into place. Squeeze it all into place. So that's what that's going to look like. Okay, now, because I'm kind of at the point now I'm going to do a lot of filler, but I want to try one thing. I want to move this for just a minute, because I will go back in with some of those, but I want to try and experiment real quick. These, I've always called them wisps. I've always loved these type of things, but I want to experiment with them for a moment. Well, I'm going to do it with a few of them and see if this works. I have a box here. This is going to be my splatter box. And I want to color these. Sometimes you can find these available in different colors, but not always. So today we're going to have to make our own color. And they do, okay, they're together with floral tape, and they are individual. Very good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have 2 types of spraying mist. I have a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. This was in a glitter purple. And then I also have Tim Holtz's Distress Oxide Spray in Wilted Violet. Now we are going to test these and see what happens. I do have my heat gun so that I can dry them. But I just want to see. Okay, this is the Glimmer Mist. What do I think of that? It definitely puts the purple down, but it does splotch it a little bit. And it makes it heavy all of a sudden, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that there. Let's try it with the oxide spray and see what happens. Woo! Okay then. Oh, wow. So if I want the light, use the Glimmer Mist. If I want it darker, use the Distress Oxide Spray. And then when you pull it up out of the box, there's what you have. Now I know it's going to be wet. Let me pull with this one. Actually, wow, it's dry. it is dry. Now, guys, I love this. Okay, let me do one just to distract the oxide spray. We want this to fan itself out. And I'm going to leave that one like it is. I like this. I like this one. Yeah, let me go ahead and take the purple all the way up. You can make it lighter or darker. I like that. I like that. I like that. Of course, the purple is my favorite color. Let's see. I'll do that one. Okay. So, Tattered Angels. I appreciate that, but not today. And let me do one more set. Get the floral tape off of everything. See, and this is part of why I like to do this with you guys. It's an experiment, and I do love to experiment with stuff. Okay, we're going to go. That's that one. Now, I can't get over how quick it dries. I mean, it's just like it soaks it up like a sponge, and it's like, I'm done. And these are heavy plastic, like almost, it's going to say strange to say, it's almost like the plastic that you might find on a toothbrush, a really cheap toothbrush for the bristles. Okay. All right. So that worked for me. I may dig in and see if I have a pink and do one or two in pink. Okay, let's bring you back up here. And I can shorten them up, but I don't know if I want to. But I don't really want anything sticking much further out than this. So I could actually work it in through here. Okay, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to put it in it as an angle. Let's see if I like, this one I may have to, nope, it's going to go right into the foam. I'm doing this one at an angle. I'm not going straight in. And see, that one's too far out for me. But the magic of glue gun, let me take it in behind that leaf and bring it through that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this one in that one place on the back of this leaf right here. I can get it into place there. And give it some persuasion. Persuasion is always a good thing. We're just going to kind of hold it together here. Okay, this is not for everybody. This I love. I love that. I absolutely love that. I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to run it in at an angle. And when I say at an angle, a lot of this stuff I've been going straight in. This one, I'm doing at an angle. I'm putting the wire in at an angle so that it works in. And I'm literally pushing it in as far as I can get it. See where it wants to go. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to tuck it in behind that leaf and then let it come up through the front here. So we're almost creating a crown for her. She has a crown currently, but we're almost creating nature's crown for her. Okay. Now I'm actually going to tuck these in behind here. This one I may shorten up just simply because, yeah. Okay, if I have to pull it back out, I can. I'm going to cut this one. Oh, I hope I didn't just make a mistake. Okay. And we're just going to tuck in. See, this is something that once you hang it on your door, you can absolutely shake this stuff a little bit. Okay, we're gonna let that roll just like it is. I want to take another one of these, and I think I want to come down through here. I'm going to tuck it under the garland. See, and I haven't glued anything down, as you see. I'm just kind of tucking and playing right now. She's not in the frame yet, into the foam yet. Pull it down, and I'm going to go ahead and tuck this one in. I'm going to, what I've done is I pulled the bottom of it through, and I'm just going to bend it back, and I'm going to push it into the foam to help secure it in place. Okay, and then I want to play with this. Soft and wispy. I want it to be tuck it. And we're going to have it just like that. That works for me. Oh, my big lights. That was my big lights that just turned off in the main area. I have, as you know, I've got portable power out here. I could go ahead and stop and turn it back on, but I'm not going to because we're good. Because we could still see. Now, if it was nighttime, I would definitely turn it back on. Okay, let me see if I like the wisps, the colored wisps are where it's at for me today. I want to do this one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in on the other side here of this, bring it at an angle. I've pushed it through the garland at the bottom. And I'm going to angle it back in and tuck it into the foam as far as I can get it. If I can find a good spot. It's starting to get crowded on my foam. Okay. Now let's see how I want to tuck in underneath this. I'm going to tuck. I'm actually going to tuck over that leaf. Just like that. I'm going to take a little bit of glue to pop on the back of this piece right here carefully. Because it's so thin right there, it's going to come and ease through and just tuck it into that. So it holds it in place. But for the most part, it's going to be wispy and loose. And like I said, this is something that is not going to be for everybody. This is going to have to change up a little bit too. And I'll do that probably when it's up on the door. And now I have glue strings all over my sign. Nice thing about aluminum though is it comes off no problems. Stand this up a little bit. Okay, it's not, this one is not giving me what I need at the moment. I'm going in with scissors, I'm shortening her up a little bit more. Okay. Now I do that, I need to shorten this one. I'm going to have to. That's just aesthetically, it works against my eyes if I don't. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's working for me a little bit better. And see, and this is something, the way I'm building this one out, once I hang it up, I can manipulate things slowly to move things around. I will definitely be putting more of these up in here. But at the moment, okay, so we're going to set these to the side. We're not going to touch those at anymore at the moment. I'm not filling in the sides yet. Do I want to put the pearls on there? No, I don't want the pearls. I have another trick up my sleeve here in a moment, but I do want some of these in here. Let me go ahead and, I only bought one spray of this. Let me go ahead and cut these off. And of course, as you guys know, you will get this video as an unedited video. It's raw blue personal. I think I want just the two of them. I don't want them as full though. Let me cut out about half of this. I'm going to take the middle stem. Do the same thing with this one. And remember, hot glue is your best friend, and something like this you can always add back to it if you need to. And of course, you've always got individuals. I may do individuals in here, but I do want, I got to figure out what looks good to what appeals to me. Okay, I think. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm not. It keeps the softness, but I want to keep. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Thought I was going to, but I'm not. Okay. I'm definitely not doing those. Let's set that out to the side. Pieces of garland. Now, let me go ahead and go in with some extras of these and get them going. Actually, let me just pull off of the other stem here. Pull a bunch of these off. And when I say pull a bunch off them off, I am actually just pulling them off. Because the way they're wrapped, they pull down pretty easily. Okay, let's see what we got there. Going to just grab them and just twist them. Just grab the balls and just twist them and see what happens. Cut them off. I'm going to bend it a little bit to create a little bit more of a solid area for the glue to grab onto. I'm just going to throw some glue onto it. See, this is the part of the winging it that most people do not like that I do. And guess what? My battery on my glue gun is now dead. Darn it. Okay. I'm just going to tuck it in here. And these are going to just literally be plain peekaboo. I wish I knew where my other battery was. Darn it. Now, let me plug her in. Get a few minutes here and there with her. Okay, she's charging. So, because it did give me enough glue there that it held that one down, because it's still hot. Let me see if I can get some more out there. And I do have corded glue guns too, but I'm just too lazy to pull them out at the moment. Okay, that is off of that. I don't need that in there. So what I will do is I'm going to go in. See, I've got these guys. And this is in Hobby Lobby. They've got all the ornaments for the little trees. And I have some of these that I'm probably going to be putting in there also. And since I've decided to let the word stay covered up, I'm probably just going to apply these into different areas. But I'm going to have a battery on my glue gun. So guys, I'm going to pause and I'll be back with you in just a few minutes as soon as my battery recharges. Okay, I'm back. We're going to see how long my battery lasts because I'm getting impatient. I've decided to take a bunch of these leaves and I'm going to tuck them here at the bottom. Just go ahead and make it where these words are covered because I've realized I don't want to see the words. So we're just going to randomly, well, not really randomly, but we're just going to kind of tuck these leaves down in here. And I'm just gluing them directly to the sign. And we're just going to tuck them in here. So almost when you see her, it's going to be like looking through, you know, into a forest to see her. I mean, she is a fairy after all, Sugarplum Fairy to be exact. So, creating that dreamy soft image with her. And I'm just going in and dropping some glue on the back of the leaves, and I'm just putting them in here and attaching them to the sign. And we will see how far we get with my battery that's on here because I didn't wait long enough. I mean, it was probably only about 10 minutes, but I was getting impatient. I'm liking this, but I am ready to be done. I can say I have, it's Sunday. It's my catch-up day at home. Okay, I'm going to put one more here. Let me grab another one to put it in there. And we're going to tuck it to there. The little purple beads are still there, but they are going to play peekaboo. I have decided I'm not going to add any more of the purple guys in here, but that's where we're at so far. But I want to take, and I'm going to add snowflake right into the middle of that. And it is a glittery snowflake. And I'm going to put it right, and I'm going to tuck it in, but center it. Because the sign itself, when I designed it, it's like you're looking through snowfall to see her. That's one of the reasons why it has such a soft look to it. And these snowflakes match the snowflakes that are in the image. So we have that one. I'm going to take a couple more of these and I'm going to tuck them in there along the garland. And I'm just going to take them. Just putting the glue on the back of it and just kind of pushing it onto the glitter so that it will hold it in place. And since the snowflakes have got the holes in them, I have to be careful for the glue oozing through when I push on, that I don't burn my fingers. So far we're good. Let's bring some of these out to here. I'm just about ready to wrap this up. I know we're already at over an hour long on this. So now that last pumpkin one I did was, wow, it was an hour and a half. Okay, let me pull this up a little bit. Okay, this needs to have some glue at the top here. Hold you back. It's always important, especially when you're doing this kind of stuff and you're adding enhancements, to hold it up every once in a while to see if anything's going to fall or if you need to tuck it back in. I think I'm going to stay there. I was thinking about trimming this up, but I think what I would rather do is take these and I'm just going to kind of glue them in there and push them up, I think. No, I'm not going to do that. I may leave it like that and let it be like a, you're peeking at her. You're peeking at her, and I think that's what I might do. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish it off. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I could keep going. I mean, I thought about several times adding some of these in there, but I do not want to. My gut instinct is telling me to stop now before I do too much to make myself happy. I had gotten these to put on there, but I'm going to save that, I think, for the other version of the sign. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to start with the leftover garland, and I'm going to go in and I'll fill in all the other spaces on the foam with this garland and get it in there. That way it covers up the foam. See, it's just going to cover it up. And of course, at any time when you hang it up, if it doesn't seem to be covered, you can always fluff it into place if you need to. And this is why I say save your scraps. My other scraps are actually in use inside my house on something in there. And so I'm actually just using those two pieces, and I'm getting ready to pull out what's left over that I was actually pulling off of, which is this. And I'm going to continue to go in, and I'm going to glue it all in place, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I got that finished, so I am going to call this done. So this is the back. This is the front. That is the wreath. I can go ahead and turn this upper light on because we should not get a glare now since I'm not working down on it. Here we go. That is her. So she is done. Yeah, I could keep going. I could add more stuff to it. Now more of the little purple balls and stuff, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it like it is. I really, really do like it. And like, it's finished at the back. Now you could go in and put felt, placemat, keep with the garland if you wanted to, fill it completely in, but this is going to be flat against my front door, so I will not need to do that. So there's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys to the front door of my house, and we're going to show it to you hanging up. I'll be right back. Before I take you outside, I got to show you something. This is my Christmas wreath from last year. Still hanging on the inside of my door. I will be doing another one of these this year too, so stay tuned for that. But let's get this other one put on the front. Guys, there you go. Now I have another sign on the back of the door that's actually screwed to the door. That's why you see the plaque thing. But there she is, shining and pretty. Now I will tell you, I just tested to close the door, and it does mush it a little bit. And the only reason why it's mashing it like that is because I have the layers of the garland at the back. So if you would want to finish it out and just filter something, but I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty. And see, even if you do that, it's still pretty. I mean, it's still pretty. Now, most people wouldn't like it because it's getting mashed a little bit, but it's not mashing. This is garland. It's not going to hurt it. All this, it's not going to hurt it. But that is what she looks like. So you are literally seeing her through the veil of a dream. And I love that. I absolutely love that. See, and then you open it up, and it unmashes, because mine, during the winter, unless it's very cold, mine stays open for the most part, because my dogs and my cats that are inside love to lay in the sun. And that's what she looks that way. Wow, she is pretty. And see, you can really see the purple now. You know, and I thought about trimming this and I decided not to, but you could go in and you could fluff to see it more. You can always adjust things as they're sitting here to whatever you like, but this is one idea to make a different kind of wreath using whatever materials. Think outside of the box, guys. Think outside of the box. Yes, you will see my Christmas tree is still up, but haven't fully finished decorating it for August yet. I will get there. There you go, baby girl. Letting the dogs back in. But guys, so that's how we stand today. Dropping off that video for you. The next one I'm going to be doing is the other ballerina sign. That one's going to get the glamorous look, because she's luxurious and very, very blingy. So there's going to be a lot of glitter and a lot of glitz involved in that one. But guys, I'm going to catch you next time. Check out the website, cookcutandcreate.com. Shop our merchandise collection at the top. We'll take you to the Shopify site. If you want to go straight to the Shopify, it's cook-cut-and-create.myshopify.com, and you can find everything that I have for sale there. Signs, magnets, ornaments, mugs, and more to come. There will be another drop tomorrow evening. Not tomorrow morning, but tomorrow evening. But guys, until next time, remember what I always say. Love yourself, believe in others, and inspire those around you. And until next time, I think I might go dream about some Sugarplum Fairies. Guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.